All right, well, my name's Graham Walker, and I'm normally backstage with you guys at big festivals where there's thousands of people. Tonight there's 100.
Yeah, no.
Do you get a bit more nervous playing up close and personal to a few?
I think we do. There's it's becomes slightly more intense. The intimacy is quite intense. So it's something we revel in. You know, we do enjoy it. There's normally can be a bit cheekier as well in an acoustic show. You know, people are up for having a nervous giggle, but yeah, we love it. It's a part of our side of our band that we love to embrace.
And Jim, we were saying earlier, when you first started out, I mean, my lad's in a little indie band, and you know, he can go playing at one gig and there might only be 5 people in the room. Yeah. What's the smallest number you've ever played for?
We played
Less than 5.
We played in a 900 capacity venue to 9 people in Marseille in about 2002, and that is one that has never left us.
It's never left us. We walked in and we saw the venue. We're like, wow, we're huge in Marseille. And then literally 9 tickets, you know. But we played one of the best shows ever. We'd a bee in our bonnet that night. But yeah, tonight's hopefully better.
So advice to breaking bands who are struggling to get a few people through the doors, they can end up filling stadiums and festivals.
Absolutely, just enjoy what you do, and you know what, you never know where it's going to take you. That's all we did. We just enjoyed being pals and making music, and yeah, the world is your oyster.
And talking about filling festivals, you're back for the 10th time at Reading and Leeds.
I know, double figures.
It's incredible. We have to pinch ourselves really to think about it. It's really incredible. It's where we first started playing festivals outside of Scotland and learn how to do it, I suppose, and we've played in every stage in that festival and probably fallen asleep in every corner, so it's really nice to be back and to headline for a second time.
It's important, very important.
Well, I'm just remind everybody that you're opening Leeds on Friday, August the 26th, and you're closing Reading on Sunday, August the 28th. Do you get blasé about this? Is it just another day at the office?
Thankfully not. I think that's one thing we always try and kind of retain the excitement. I think if anything ever becomes too blasé, we'll probably stop. We don't want this to feel like a job. We do this because we love it, and we know the feeling. We're fans of music as well. We know what it's like to be at a great show, and we want to bring that with our shows. So it's never blasé, Graham, never blasé.
So come on, you've got Ellipsis coming out, a new album. I'll just ask you about that. But tell me first, what can fans expect at Leeds and Reading?
Well, they'll get a bunch of new songs. We're working on a new stage setup right now, which is going to be the exact opposite of the opposites one. It's going to be very slick and look really tasty and sexy. So yeah, that's what it's just going to be Biffy Mark III.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And talking in terms of the album, I love the album cover, by the way. You're in the kind of fetal position,
Thank you.
like the 3 dots, the ellipsis dots.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, spot on.
I got it.
Yeah. But you're one of the only ones.
But can you actually just explain that to people, what it is?
So
and the concept behind the name?
Yeah, the front cover of the record is the 3 of us completely naked, which not a lot of people want to see, and we are a human ellipsis. The reason we're naked is because this album feels like we're kind of starting over again to a certain point and kind of shedding some skin that we've kind of grown over the years. And it's a naive album from us, it's a playful record, and the ellipsis, I think of the ellipsis as at the start of a sentence, so the listener are joining us halfway through a thought. You know, we've been formulating this album for 18 months and now it's here and everyone kind of steps in at this point. So yeah, it's a good few reasons that we went with that.
You have stepped up, haven't you? I mean, we started off with all that fantastic raw stuff in the first 3 albums, and then we had a change of pace. And you have become a lot more commercial now, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, there's a wide appeal for it. What's the new album? Where does that take it? Where does it go from opposites, for instance?
I think it's probably more freaky. It's probably a bit weirder than opposites. It felt like we'd gone as far as we could with the big orchestral rock sound and big epic songs. And this one we wanted to make it just a bit grimier and a bit more twisted. And the thing as well is that I guess when you say commercial, it's like melodic. I mean, it's like we've always loved melody, you know, and sometimes we embrace that and sometimes we completely ignore it. And I think it's what keeps us coming back to music and other bands is the songs, you know, are the songs any good? And that's what we judge our band on now. It used to be, what's the weirdest thing we could make? And now it's like, do we want to listen to this song a year later? Do we want to play it, you know, 6 months later? And that's why we took some time off before this album, was just to make sure the songs were right.
The pressure's on though, isn't it? I mean, you've had 2 #1 albums, the last one was #1. There is a lot of pressure. I read somewhere that you had a bit of depression over the fact. I mean, is there an anxiety and how this is going to perform?
Not now. I think to me, anxiety only ever comes in when it's about making the music, you know, and at that point, it's literally just, you know, it's just the 3 of us. It's me with my guitar trying to come up with ideas and then us trying to formulate it into songs. And that's the only time I ever feel severe pressure. You know, it's not a kind of how the album sells or anything, because if you make it in the right way, it doesn't really matter. You know, like obviously we've got record companies and stuff that want us to sell loads, but
everybody says, Jim, that you know, it's the best album when it's the next album out. But I think you really feel that way, don't you?
We do. It'd be really tough to stand here and talk about a record that we thought was all right. You know, it's really, we're really excited by the album. We feel like we keep getting better as a band, and to have moved in a new direction, and it feels like we're starting again. It's a rebirth. It's really, really exciting.
And just to get back to Leeds Reading Festival, obviously it means a lot to you, doesn't it? And what do you think about Leeds Reading, and where does it fit on the big world stage of festivals?
I think it's iconic on a world stage. You know, we spend a lot of time travelling the globe, and everyone knows a Reading and Leeds Festival. I think Leeds is such a good vibe. You know, the first festival we played outside the UK, I think, was Leeds, and there's just such a great spirit amongst the crowd and everyone that comes, and I think people are less kind of self-conscious maybe than Reading, I think, up at Leeds, but I mean,
you're just saying that.
Yeah, no, well, you see just the mess of people at the end of the weekend, that tells you. But
listen, I'm going to end because I know that we've got a lot to do, but
no
we
worries.
did ask all our Twitter followers for questions. I've got one belter. Can I ask this one?
Yes,
to you?
please.
So this is from a guy called David Hodgson, and he says, is it true that all three of you have got a tattoo that makes up one big tattoo if you all stand in a certain way together?
Yes.
Yes.
That is entirely true.
What is it?
It is, do you want to show a
gonna
glimpse
see
at your
some of
back?
Have we got time?
I'll
for
just
that?
lift you up.
Yeah.
You can see, James, so mine's is on my left thigh, which goes up there, connects there. James's goes up there, and Ben's starts from that point, so we have one full tattoo following
This
our
is a real
chest.
brotherhood thing, isn't it?
Yeah, oh, this is more than a band, man. More than a band.
Well, listen, we can't wait to see it, Leeds and Reading.
Thanks so much,
Thank
Graham.
you, man.
Pleasure.
Bye.